What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Marvel Legends Avengers Infinity War Iron Man from the Thanos Build-A-Figure series. Here we do have the bleeding edge armor in the packaging. What we're going to do now is take a little break, get them opened up, and then we're going to have a better look at Iron Man. So stay tuned, everyone. And so here we have Iron Man posing out of the packaging. Before we get onto the figure, let's actually have a look at what he comes with. Iron Man does come with a total of 2 pairs of hands. He comes with a repulsor blasting hands, and then he also does come with a pair of fists. Add to it, Iron Man also does come with these repulsor blast effects. Now, unlike all the other Iron Man figures we've seen, these are actually done in like an aqua color. But you can still plug that into his repulsor blasting hand, or you can also peg it into his foot. And I'm really glad that you can still do that with this Iron Man figure. With that out of the way, let's actually have a look at Iron Man's details. So here we have a closer look at Iron Man's details, and let's actually talk about his head for a moment. I really love how they made this head sculpt, and it really does look a lot like his bleeding edge armor from the Avengers Infinity War trailers. I haven't seen the movie, it's not out yet at the time I'm making this video, but I really do like the way his helmet looks. Now, the gold piece is actually a separate piece, unlike all the previous Iron Man figures that we've gotten, where it's been red painted gold. This one is actually a gold piece glued onto the red, and I really do like that. You can see there's even some silver right there. It's painted really well, and I really love how it has that beetle brow look to it. The only problem on mine is that the head is incredibly loose. Now, we'll go more on that in articulation, but you can see it doesn't really take much for me to actually move the head around, which is a little unfortunate because I really do like the way this figure came out now. You can see he actually has quite a bit of details on him, but it's a really soft sculpt. I really do like the fact that we can see the lights from his arc reactor all throughout his costume. Shoulders are actually done really well. I love the way they incorporated the shoulders this time around. It offers better movement than the Civil War armor, and we'll get into that when we do comparison. But yeah, I love this gold, and even though it's not 100% perfect, it still looks really nice. We do get some paint on his knuckles, and it's on both sets of hands. So on his fist and the repulsor blast, we do get this gold trim. There's a piece of black plastic or black paint on mine. I don't know why it's there. Again, we get a lot of details, especially with those arc reactors there. Something to point out is that they did use 2 different shades of plastic for Iron Man. They actually went with a swirly, marbleized, metallic red plastic for his torso, but then they used a flat red for his arms, his head, and his legs. I don't know why Hasbro went that route, and it really does draw attention that it's 2 different kinds of plastic. The paint actually matches really well with the 2, it's just the reds don't look right. I don't know what Hasbro was thinking when they were designing this. I think all these figures have some issues with them, and I'll explain more when we have a look at each one of them, but other than that, sculpt detail is there. It is a really soft sculpt, but that's not taken away from the figure. It still looks really impressive. So what we're going to do now is actually compare Iron Man to a couple of other Iron Man figures you may have in your collection. And so here we have the Infinity War bleeding edge armor next to the Civil War armor and the Invincible Iron Man armor. Now, between the 3 of them, I might have to say my favorite in terms of sculpt is the Civil War Iron Man, and it just has so much nicer paint apps and details on it. Not saying that this isn't a good figure, I'm just saying that between the 2 movie versions, I think I prefer the Civil War version. But you can see how he stacks up. Like I said, the shoulders on this one work far better than this one. If you remember my review on this one, his shoulder pads really did hinder the articulation. Here, they're all sculpted and you can actually tuck those in. Moving those Iron Man off to the side, and we accidentally knocked over Infinity War Iron Man here. He does have quite a bit of articulation. He does have a ball joint in the head, and we do get some up and down movement on that joint, some side to side movement. Very little head pivot, and like I said, it's really loose on mine. I don't know what it is, but Yeah, that is a really loose joint. I'm not putting much force behind that. We do get a hinge which lets his head look back that far. You can bury his head all the way down to his chest and you can see that it's still very loose. Arms on a ball joint go out to about that far. They do a full 360. He swivels at the bicep, double jointed in the elbow. If you have his fist hands on, you do get a hinge in the wrist as well as swivel. If you have his repulsor hands on, we only get the swivel. They have started eliminating this hinge in the repulsor hand, and I really am not a fan of that. Moving on to his waist, we do get a ball joint in the torso now. It does go back quite a way, moves side to side, rotates, and it does want to move forward, but I don't know, there's something inside that isn't letting it crunch all the way forward. And I've tried looking in there, but I can't seem to find it. And maybe it's just a piece of plastic that's tabbing into there. I'm not sure. But we do get the swivel up here, nothing in the waist. Legs do kick out about that far, go back, go out only about that far. We have a thigh swivel. Double jointed in the knee, which works pretty good. It's just a really tight joint on mine. So that's there. He hinges forward and back really well, and we do get a forward-facing pin for rock your ankle. So overall, not a bad articulated Iron Man. I just kind of feel like they rushed getting these guys out for the Infinity War release. But it's still a really solid figure. What we're going to do now is take a little break, go on to my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. So sit tight, everyone. And so here we have Iron Man posed for my final thoughts. Overall, I think this is an okay figure. I really do love the sculpt and paint detail on him. It could be a little sharper. The paint apps are actually really done well, but the sculpt I feel is kind of soft on him. Now, I did get this Iron Man along with the rest of the Infinity War wave off Big Bad Toy Store, and they did cost about $140 altogether, which is a pretty good deal. That's about $20, $21 per figure. Now, I will have to say that Iron Man is not essential to completing your movie Thanos. He does not come with a Build-A-Figure piece. However, if you're a fan of Iron Man, I really think you are going to enjoy this figure. Now, it's not 100% screen accurate, but it's still a really nice looking figure. And if you've been collecting Marvel Legends, I think you're going to want to add this guy to your collection. Completists are going to want to add him, but overall, he's not essential to Thanos, so you can go ahead and skip this guy. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go check out all my other action figure reviews as well as all my other Marvel Legend videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it fits in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.